Hello, fourth grade. How are you? Today's lesson is page 22 and page 24. A habitat for snails. The other lesson is short. It's called Animals in Local Habitat, page 24. Before we want to study about the habitat of snail, I want to give you some examples of habitats. بدي أعطيكم أمثلة على habitats قلنا قبل بالحصة الماضية is the mountain habitats المواطن المساكن للكائنات الحية. So repeat after me. habitat الموطن أو المسكن where the living things live. مكان سكن الكائنات الحية الموطن. Here are some examples of habitats in the environment. desert الصحراء. ocean المحيطات. sea البحار. forest الغابات. grassland السهول. meadow المراعي. repeat after me. desert, ocean, sea, forest, grassland, and meadow. There are many more habitats, but I gave you some of them. Snails, الحلزون. Look at the following picture. These are pictures of snails. This is the shell. Snails have rough tongues to eat leaves. عندهم لسان خشن عشان يقدروا يأكلوا الأوراق. They have moist skin. جلد رطب. They have foot, they have head, they have eyes. عندهم إجرين, رأس وعيون. Snails. What do snails eat? Snails eat leaves, أوراق الشجر. Stems, سقام. Roots, الجذور, and fruits والفواكه للنبات of plants. Repeat. Snails eat leaves, stems, roots, and fruits of plants. Snails live under stones. Look here. تحت الأشجار. Rocks على الصخور. And leaves. Here is a snail. It lives on leaves. Snails can change the way they behave if the environment changes. الحلزون بيقدر يغير طريقته في المعيشة، كيف يتصرف حسب البيئة اللي حواليه. For example, if the environment gets very dry, snails move back into their shell. في البيئة الحارة الجافة، إذا صارت البيئة جافة الحلزون برجع بدخل للصدفة تبعتها. It moves back into their shell. Activity 2.2, page 23. Try to do this activity. You need a tray, leaves, dry stones, sand, some sticks, 3 snails. So as to investigate what habitat do snails like. عشان نلاحظ أي موطن تقدر الحلزون تعيش وبتحب. Watch this video now.
Welcome to my treehouse. Today we're having a snail adventure. Snails are one of the easiest mini bees to spot. You can find them almost everywhere, especially when it's been raining. And they're quite big for a mini bee. Have a look at these. Snails have soft, slimy bodies which are protected by a shell. The snail's body is actually one big foot, and it moves along by rippling its muscles. It makes a slimy track to slide along.
Watch carefully.
If a snail wants to hide away, It can tuck its whole body into its shell.
You see, this is the shell.
A snail has 4 tentacles. Can you see them popping out? The short 2 are for feeling, tasting, and smelling. The longer 2 have eyes on the end of them. But snails actually can't see very well. They just see light and dark. The shell is really clever. As the snail grows, the shell grows too. So when a baby snail hatches, it has a tiny little shell. Look, this baby is a teeny tiny version of an adult snail. Its shell is very soft and fragile when it's small, so you have to be really careful if you pick them up. It takes about 2 years for a snail to grow to be an adult. I'm sure you've got a snail living near you. Maybe it's a baby, maybe it's an adult.
Snail shells are their homes. They always carry them around with their backs. Imagine if you carried your home around with you all the time. Phew. Phew.
It looks like
Animals in local habitat, page 24. Look at the picture in your book and in the following slide. This is a woodland habitat, غابة. Look at these animals. Look at living things, trees. These live in woodland habitat. We notice here that animals must live in a habitat where they can find food. الحيوانات لازم تعيش في موطن عشان تلاقي الغذاء. All living things also. They live so as they can find food. Not only animals, also human being. So, the animals must live in a habitat where they can find food. الغذاء المناسب الضروري لاستمرار الحياة. Some animals eat plants. بعض الحيوانات تأكل نباتات. Repeat, some animals eat plants. For example, rabbits, ducks, and swans. الأرانب، البط والبجعة. Some animals eat other animals. بعض الحيوانات تأكل حيوانات تانية. هذا بسموه الافتراس. For example, foxes, hawks and owls. الثعالب، البومة والصقور. These animals eat other animals. Activity point 23. If you can do this activity, try to observe local animals. You need only a paper and a pencil. It's page 25. Thank you if you try to do this activity. It's very easy. You can go outside to your garden and notice how can you observe some local animals. Local animals اللي هي الحيوانات اللي حواليك بالبيئة، مش حيوانات مفترسة. Watch this video about habitat.
I am an explorer of this beautiful earth, from the jungle to the polar caps. There are so many different homes for living things, and we call them habitats. A forest is made up of trees and animals.
A forest.
Oxygen and water are the norm. Temperate means it goes through different seasons, and tropical means it's very wet and warm. A forest is a home for living things, and it's one of the habitats. Grasslands can have many titles: pampas, prairies, savannas, or steppes. And just like forests, they can be tropical or temperate. A grassland is a home for living things, and it's one of the habitats. Fresh water can be a marsh or river,
Fresh
a
water.
wetland, a swamp, or a lake. And fresh water can be ideal for insects, for beavers, and snakes. Fresh water is a home for living things, and it's one of the habitats. The poles include the Arctic and Antarctic.
الأقطاب الشمالي والجنوبي.
Both are very dry and cold. And animals need blubber or hibernation if they want to live around the poles. A polar biome is a home for living things, and it's one of the habitats. A desert's dry and doesn't have
الصحراء.
much water.
Desert.
Some species live by storing it inside. Some hide beneath the sand when it gets hotter, and come out in the open when it's night. A desert is a home for living things, and it's one of the habitats. The ocean is vast and
المحيط.
it's all salt water, with jellyfish, whales, and sharks. From the coral reef in the shallow parts to the deep where it's always dark. The ocean is a home for living things. There are even more homes for living things. So many different homes for living things, and we call them habitats.
Bye bye, fourth grade. I have you enjoyed this lesson. Bye.